I'm calling this my masterclass on how to create an animalistic energy that will transform the player you see on the court. So what up, guys? If you have been following the last couple of weeks, you know that we have been talking about one subject and one subject only. And that subject is creating a dog energy. I'm calling this my master class on how to create an animalistic energy that will transform the player you see on the court. I'm the perfect person to talk about this because I'm not just a proponent, I'm actually the president of the dog energy dynamic. I was someone who, off the court, straight A student, straight-laced kid, but on the court, I believed I was the best. On the court, I was a cold-hearted killer. On the court, I was intensely competitive and didn't give an inch and activated every sense of my talent and skill every time I took the court. This doesn't mean I played perfectly. It doesn't mean I never missed shots. It doesn't mean that I never made mistakes. It doesn't mean that I never had bad games. But what it does mean is that I cultivated an energy that I could rely upon. My energy was always activated. I see players today where you go and watch them play and it's like they're not activated. They're not playing hard. They're not doing what they do best on the court. Maybe they're overthinking it. Maybe they're not comfortable in the situation. Maybe they haven't been empowered by their coaches. But at the end of the day, none of that matters because if you're out there on that court, you have to perform. And you have to have your aggressiveness acclimated to any environment. I don't care if you're in a playoff game at home, in a game on the road, playing AAU with a group you know, playing AAU with a new group, at a team camp, at an individual camp, at a tryout. Your game has to be able to travel. To do that, you have to be able to consistently create energy that you can count on. Woo, that's a bar. You have to consistently create energy you can count on. That's what dog energy is all about. And today's lesson on creating dog energy is all about, are you ready to run? Because when you think about a dog, they're always ready. When the owner gets the leash, the dog perks up. They're never not ready. They're never like, I'm not really feeling the outside today. But that's what so many players are like. Sometimes they get to the gym, whether it be for a training or for a game, and their energy is just not where it needs to be. Take it from me, take it from other adults that understand how to create and cultivate energy where they can show up as their best self every single day. That's what dog energy is all about. Being ready, being in a mindset to eat or be eaten, being in an activated, energetic state where we're ready to go. So as I mentioned, today's topic is, are you ready to run? And it's all about how we prepare for our games. And I've got 3 questions that are hopefully going to unlock your mindset and your practices around how you prepare for games and trainings anytime you take the court. So my first question is, when does your prep work start? When do you start to prepare for that game, for the next time you're going to take the court in a major way? When it comes to pregame preparation, you basically got 3 options. It's either the day before, early on the day of, or right before the game. Those are the 3 times most prevalent for when players are going to stop and do some type of intentional preparation. If you're not doing it one of those 3 times, you're probably not preparing at all.
Like and subscribe.
I'm a big proponent on the earlier you prepare, the better. So if you could actually prepare the day before, I think it's a great thing. If you could, even the night before, if you can start your preparation process, it's great. But maybe you have to prepare the day of. Maybe you're back-to-back games. Maybe you don't have the time the night before, the day before. So it's okay preparing the day of. Preparing Right before the game is going to be the least viable option, but it's still better than nothing. Some of you may be playing on junior high teams. Maybe you don't get all this preparation time, and that's okay. You can still start your process. And that's the most important word here, because it's about developing a process. It's about developing a set of circumstances that you can start to rely upon. I'll tell you my morning routine. So every morning when I wake up, I go to my closet and I spend 7 to 10 minutes, depending on how much time I have, in prayer. And I'm stretching during this time. I'm actually starting with a foam roller. Then my next 7 to 10 minutes, I'm doing meditation. Then my next 7 to 10 minutes, I'm doing visualization, and I'm actually starting to do some mobility exercises or stretching, like yoga poses basically. Then my last 7 to 10 minutes, I am doing meditation, and I'm sitting there and I'm working on my breathing. I'm working on creating a state of calm. That is how I prepare for every single day. And that's how I cultivate an energy that not only I can count on, but those I work with, those I work for, those I work around, everybody knows how I'm going to show up every single day because I have this process. It's the same thing as a player. You have to have a set of circumstances that you can start to rely upon. So whether you start the day before, the day of, or right before the game, there are some things you can start to look at to create this environment. Specifically, I want to call out 3 areas that you should look at when you're talking about pregame preparation. Number 1 is your sleep routine. How are you sleeping? Do you have a certain time that you're getting to bed? Do you have a routine before you go to bed? Maybe you're stretching, doing foam roller, visualization, any of that stuff. Maybe you're watching a game to relax. Maybe you're sitting in a hot tub, cold tub, any of the above. What is your sleep routine? How many hours do you need? Are you demarcating that, setting some type of timer to make sure you get to bed on time? Sleep routine is very important because this will establish a baseline for the amount of rest you're getting before your games. The other thing is, what is your nutritional routine? What are you eating to prepare for games? I'm not going to tell you what you should and shouldn't be eating, but I am going to tell you, take note of the things that you eat, because then you'll start to track what makes you feel good and what makes you feel less than good. If there's a particular meal, if there's a particular snack, if there's a particular drink that causes you to feel good, then do it again and again. Create circumstances that you can rely upon. The last thing I'm going to talk about is your content, what you're consuming coming into your eyes and into your ears. Perhaps you like to watch a show, review game film, or watch a game on TV. Perhaps you like to take in meditation music or some other genre to get you ready. It's going to be different if you're doing it on the day of the game or right before the game. All 3 of these areas, sleep, nutrition, and content, are going to be different depending on when you're preparing. Let's say you don't get to prepare but right before the game. You may have an energy bar, candy bar, or an electrolyte drink. You may get 15 to 10 minutes nap in the car or in the locker room right before the game, and you also may be taking in some motivational content or some specific type of music, or just stopping and meditating and praying right before the game. It can be as simple as a 15-minute routine right before the game, but it can also be as complex as having a whole set of routines that start the night before. My next question is, what is your pregame warm-up routine? Because I see so many players that don't have a plan when it comes to pregame. Now, again, when I use the term pregame, I'm alluding to what you're doing the day before, if you have time to prepare the night before, to what you're doing the day of, if you get a pregame shoot around that day, depending on what your school may be doing or your team may have access to, and also pregame, meaning right before the game. Again, our 3 times to prepare. And like I said, I'm not here to tell you what to do, but what I'm here to help you do is to track what you're doing so you understand what puts you in your best state. I always loved to get 150 to 250 makes in areas that I'm going to shoot it in the game. The day before the game, I was always the first person to show up. I love to get a little sweat and 20 to 30 minutes of ball handling and shooting. Then I always had a pregame routine where I had a partner or a coach or somebody that was rebounding for me prior to the game to let me go through my shot and dribbling routine once more. So I was very complex when it came to my pregame routine. You don't have to be. Whatever it is, make sure you're doing it, tracking it. If it's giving you success, continue to do it. If it's not, then not only track it, but tweak it. Do some different things, add stuff to it, take some stuff away, change some things, whatever you want to do, but make sure it's working for you. The last question I have for you is, what is the last thing you do before tip-off? What is the last thing you do in order to cultivate your energy and make sure your energy is acclimated? I used to love doing something that gave me a big burst of energy right before the game. You've seen guys like Steph Curry do the half-court run down and back to change his energy state. You've seen Russell Westbrook do the jump with the knee tuck. You've seen LeBron James blow the chalk. Like, what is it for you, this ritual that's going to get you in the mind state of a dog, that's going to get you in the mind state of being your best self? If you're not a fan of some big energetic movement, maybe what's best for you is a pregame talk. Maybe you're talking to yourself as you're walking on the court or sitting on the bench as the ball's being tipped up, just reminding yourself what you want to accomplish, who you are, anything like that. Just a pregame talk to say, hey, Jason, this is what we're built for. This is what we've been working for. This is what it's all about. We're here now. Thankful for this opportunity. I'm going to be my best. Tonight, I'm going to put on a show. Whatever the case may be, you may be somebody who has a motivational trigger. You may have some moment that when you think about it, you fixate on it, whether it's looking in your mother's eyes and her being proud of you, or the time you hit the game winner, or the time where you lost the game and you never want that to happen again. That's your new motivational moment that you fixate on right before the game. So whether it's a big energy movement, pregame talk, or a motivational moment, you've got to have some type of trigger right before tip-off that's going to help you cultivate this dog energy, okay? So I think we got it. The masterclass is coming along. Hopefully you're watching all of these videos because I want to see you be your best self. I want to see you activate everything that's within you. Not only me, but your parents want to see that too. So sit down, write these things out. This is what I'm going to do before next game. Don't make a huge deal of it where it causes you anxiety, but have fun with it. Cultivate your circumstances in a way that brings you comfort, that causes you to be in your best state. That's what you want to create. Continue to like and subscribe, continue to share. We're going to continue to come back with more of this masterclass on dog energy. Thanks for watching.